The thing is, nobody hurts their back and then just goes on Facebook and sits there waiting for your ad to pop up. Welcome to the FlowScribe Podcast, a show where we help you grow your clinic with practical tips for marketing, client support, and building treatment programs that you can passively use to turn your clients into raving fans and a referral army. Hey, this is Doc Yates, the FlowScribe Podcast, brought to you by FlowScribe.com, and today we want to talk about the importance of, when it comes to marketing for your clinic, hitting your target and then expanding your range. So hit the target first and then expand the range. Now, the problem for, say, a lot of practitioners who focus with pain, like massage or chiropractic, is that when people are looking for you, it's often because something happened, they hurt themselves, and then they're looking for you. And at that point, they are not really going to be going around looking for your ads. Your ads have already had to be a top of mind. You would have already had to do branding in advance for that. And I'm saying that is a good idea, but that's a lot of marketing to think that you can hit anyone who could possibly hurt themselves. So when it comes to finding those individuals, the part that you need to really nail is your Google business account. The Google My Business account will be the most important thing. The showing up, having your website. The number of clinics that I have found that don't show up properly on Google, if they do, because I've researched a lot of clinics and reaching out for FlowScribe, the number of ones that don't show up on Google don't have their website listed, don't have a proper way of contacting them by email, no online booking, so that you actually have to call and try and get a hold of someone during business hours to book. It's almost like Stone Age. It's crazy. So you need to nail that, and you have to have awesome reviews. You have to have awesome reviews. Now, this is something we put a lot of focus in for FlowScribe. You can't just be sitting there with one or two reviews. If there's one or two reviews, people just assume that you put those reviews in there. You got to have quite a few reviews, and we do a lot of work to build up your reviews so that you can look like a more established, trustworthy business. If people see two places there, and they're both equal distance to their house, one of them has two 5-star reviews, but there's only 2, and the other one's only 4.6, but it's got 50, they're probably going to the one with 50. So you need to build up your reviews and make sure you have an accurate presentation on Google Maps. I feel like I'm beating these 2 points into the ground, but I wouldn't be doing that if I didn't see how many clinics didn't have this. It's crazy. The next thing is that you can't build an entire business depending on people to find you after the fact. You need to have a list of people that you're working with from a maintenance, prevention, overall health standpoint. So if your whole business model is like, I'm just going to wait till people hurt themselves and then try and fix it, it's not going to be good enough, because you can't even depend on those people finding you. So you want to have at least a couple target demographics of things that you might work with directly, and then you work with the paying stuff on the side. So for instance, when you're picking this demographic that you want to have as kind of your own niche, if you're going to pick that niche, you better have a way that you can target that niche. So for instance, in my office, I do a lot of work with perimenopausal and menopausal females. That makes it very direct. One, I know they're females, right? That's an obvious one. I know they're perimenopausal, and I know all the concerns associated with it. So I know the exact age range, I know the gender, and I know the demographic, and I know that they're going to live within a certain distance to my clinic. I can target that. What is the niche that are you going to work on pediatrics? Are you going to work on, professional athletes? Are you going to work on, pick a niche where you can find them directly and not have to wait for them to find you. If you're spending your advertising dollars just saying chiropractic clinic available, massage clinic available, and you're not targeting anyone directly, maybe you could put on a focus that you're You have chiropractic services specifically for females who like yoga. Like, even though you're doing the exact same treatments, tailor a niche that you can work with. And then you want to expand that niche. So after you've hit this niche and you hit them with one particular of their needs, you expand by educating them on their other needs. And ideally, you're looking for people that, if they're health oriented already, they're going to become your marketers for you. So let's use our chiropractic for yoga example. Okay, so you target females that like yoga, that are interested in flexibility and back issues. It's kind of a random one, but the thing is, the more random it is, as long as you can target them and make a valid case, it means no one else has done that. You've got no competition. You are creating what they call your own blue ocean. You know what I mean? There's no one else. So you become the competition of one. Now, once these people come in, you start to get to know them well, and you're like, oh, you know what? A lot of these people also have concerns with weight. So the next program I'm going to roll out for this crowd is a weight loss program. And it turns out they also have concerns about supplements for, let's say, hair and nails. Then you roll that out. So you find your niche, you know that niche, you get great results with that niche, and then you start to figure out what all of their other concerns are, and then they'll start bringing in people who are maybe not even in your initial niche. That's the cool part. They'll start bringing other people like, well, that let's say that lady who's interested in yoga that you're marketing to, you also end up helping her with weight loss, but she has other friends who aren't in that same niche who also want weight loss. Now she's going to automatically market to them. So pick a niche that you can market to. Don't just put out like I said, acupuncture for your health. That is not a good ad. Your ad has to be targeted to that person and that niche, and then you can adapt them as you go depending on the response. So, just a reminder, get your stuff on Google My Business. Get all the reviews. Target the niche and then expand. So hit the target, then expand based on the demands of that niche. And if you do that, and keep in mind, you can be hitting multiple niches at a time through different ad groups, right? You don't have to just wait for the yoga female back pain crowd. You can hit different niches all at the same time, but you have to be targeting niches. Otherwise, it's just random, and might be people who are not even interested in your service. The worst ad spend is to spend money on people who are not even interested in health at all. Then you're really just wasting your money. So I hope this was helpful. Take a look at how you're doing your marketing. And if you're not doing any marketing at all, then you're probably not doing as much growing, to be honest. You should always be doing some type of marketing. It doesn't have to be paid marketing, but you should always be doing some sort of marketing to increase even for referrals. If you're not marketing, then even if you're busy, it means you're not growing. And if you're content with not growing, that's fine. But if your goal is to add an associate or 2 or 3 associates, or maybe bring in some RNTs and physios and all of those things, then you need to be constantly growing so that you can expand that. Because at the end of the day, if you're just a business of one and it's just you, and your schedule's busy, when you ever want to retire, there's nothing to sell. Like selling files, it's not really worth anything. They can just set up next door to you, and then the people are going to go there instead. But if you have a running system in place that doesn't even involve necessarily you having to be there, now you've got a serious asset that is worth a lot to people, and it's going to make your eventual exit someday a lot easier, if that's something you ever decide to do. If your goal is just to stay in practice by yourself, stay busy, hope you never get injured so that you can keep doing it forever, then you can disregard that. I hope that's helpful. Doc Yates signing off.
Thanks for tuning in to the FlowScribe podcast. To learn how FlowScribe can help build your clinic, go to flowscribe.com.